I'm here to do a monthly April reading. So this is general for all signs. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing all astrological signs. So if you know your sign, that's great. If you don't, you might want to find out. And again, we have 3 signs. So if you find out all your different signs, then you can watch those 3 videos specifically because we carry a lot of traits I think that we don't realize that we're carrying that transfer over into other signs, okay? As we were discussing in my full moon reading yesterday. So, welcome. If you have any questions, let me know. You can also let me know what sign you are. But this is going to be for everyone, and then you can watch those individual ones, okay? So, I'm going to work with Palo Santo today. I sell Palo Santo for $3.50, so if you need a stick, let me know. I'm going to be using my tarot and angel cards, and what I'm going to be offering is a general spread. So I'm not doing it weekly or anything, just a general spread for like love, relationships, career, where our hearts are right now, some things that are going to be happening, emotions, etc. Okay, so yeah, I have a birthday coming up April 15th, so happy birthday to all the Aries and as well the Tauruses that are coming in. Good morning, Shirley. So we're gonna get a theme card, okay? Actually, we have 2 theme cards that are coming up, so I can already tell that this is really going to be interesting energy. All right, so let's also call in any energy that we can to bring in positive energy into this reading as well. So if you feel like you just want to take a minute here and put your hand up into your heart and call in any positive energy, let's do that. It just raises the vibration, which is really, really helpful, okay? So thank you for doing that. Angel of Peace, Temperance. Okay, so right away, we were talking about with the full moon that we just had. So again, we're going to be feeling that for a few days. So the full moon's on the 28th, so we'll be feeling that roughly, we'll say, until the 31st of the day before April. But again, that's when things are going to start happening. So we were talking about Libra energy and the energy of balance. And this is very much talking about relationships. So as our theme in April, what you're going to be finding is you might feel like giving back is more important than it's ever been. And don't worry about outcomes. Focus on putting forward, period. Just do it. And that's the most important message for, especially when we're working with the energy of peace, okay? So going back into calling in positive energy like we just did. If you didn't do that, you can still do that. Please do. It'll be helpful for you. And again, it's about making other people feel good when they're not. So because at the end of the day, we all feel each other's energy. So when other people are struggling, we can just ignore it. But those are problems in our society that are just going to continue if we don't take more time to care about others, right? The greater good, society, etc. So uncertainty, 2 of Swords. I'm not surprised this came up. I'm assuming you guys can hear me and see me okay. All right, this is about holding back. Totally related to this card, right? So 2 is saying, well, I'm not really sure about this, so maybe I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna participate. I'm not gonna communicate. I'm not gonna spend the money. I'm not gonna invest. Because you're not sure what's going to happen, right? Because you can't always predict the future. We are living in the now. So it's your choice to live in fear, and again, of the unknown, or just start dealing with what you have in front of you, which is maybe, I really want to go on a road trip, but I'm worried about money. So the energy is saying, if you feel like you need to go on a road trip because you feel like that's going to solve some of your problems because you're stuck inside all the time, or you're feeling depressed or negative, or you're feeling anxious and you need to go for a drive, this card is saying that going on the road trip is actually going to start helping you deal with your problems. So if you're then worrying about something, You're creating your own block. And whether you deal with it now or you deal with it later, it has to be dealt with. And this is how um, PTSD can show up in our life, the energy of trauma and shock, the later effects of lying and lying to ourselves, etc. Okay, very, very strong energy. All good, Just says. Okay, perfect. So we're going to do a spread for April. Okay. So I will be teaching, I feel like doing a free tarot workshop because there's a lot to tarot. And I work with tarot and angel, okay? That's how I function because I really find that the angel cards are very positive. They have a lot of light energy. So with these, we don't really have to, I feel like, think about energy. We can just, like, they're just good energy cards, okay? But I think I'm going to do a free workshop for people, and then I'll probably do a giveaway as well in that workshop. So when I say a giveaway, like, you can donate a little bit of money if you want to, like, win the giveaway, and then that way it at least is covering the cost for me, and you guys get some good energy out of it and some learning, and you get more familiar with me, which is a win-win. And that's my goal, is win-wins. All right, lots of good stuff here. I do love reading cards, I must say. I'm in a like psychic mediumship spirituality group, and he was discussing how cards, that we don't need cards, we don't want to rely on cards, but of course when you're building up your confidence it's okay. But I just really like visual, and I don't need these, but I do find that visuals are fun, colors are fun, art is fun, and that's more what this is about for me. So there's another theme card coming up, I guess, because we're working with a lot of energies. All this is going to be posted on my YouTube, okay? King of Swords, decisions. All right, first thing that's coming up is I was just discussing the energy of art. This is about being more creative in the month of April, okay? So Hank's snoring in the background there. So for myself, I've been wanting to, paint, draw, things like that. I keep saying it, but I'm not doing it. So this is saying, like, give yourself more time and freedom to do the things that you really want to be doing. As the other card was saying, if you want to go on a road trip, this is something that your soul is craving, your body is craving, your emotions are craving. So really, really, really trust that there's permission for you to do those things this month. And it does feel like there's just so much heaviness and worry energy, okay? So if you want to book a session with me, I do 35 minutes and I do 75 minutes. So you can click my booking link. Okay, right away, this is the energy of what's beneath us, okay? And this is talking about finances, came up in our theme, right? And it's talking about also the energy of karma, as we're talking about putting forward what goes around comes around. And something tells me that people are watching this card, that are watching this reading, really have this passion for living, which I absolutely love. I feel like they're thriving to be spontaneous. They're thriving to be worry-free, which is great. And this is saying, as long as you've been giving, it's then you've already kind of done the work. So you don't have to worry, as I was kind of saying, continue the flow and the cycle. But this is saying, like, if you've already been doing that, it's going to come back to you. So you don't need to think about outcomes, okay? Especially money's just coming up. It feels like everybody worries about money naturally. And so, again, that's something I can help you work on a deeper level. Super important. So that's what's beneath us, meaning it's sitting there and bothering us, right? Getting outside, of course, exploring the world. You might be limited in certain ways, but there's probably a lot more that you can do than you realize or think, because a lot of that is a mindset right now. So what's above us is Five of Pentacles, isolation. This is absolutely the money card. It's telling us that money is energy. And money is obviously a resource. So we work to get paid. When we get paid, we take care of what takes care of us, like our water, our nutrition, whatever it is. And then And then hopefully you are thinking about like your health and like again going back into society and things like that, how you feel in society, right? Is it spending time with friends? Is it spending time with family, going out for lunch? Maybe it's buying yourself a toy of some sort that when you're working hard you're rewarding yourself, because this card is saying that we might not be attaching ourselves to spiritually to money, that we might be seeing money as a separate thing from our spirituality. And so it's how you feel about your spending, how you feel about, we'll say, your savings, that sort of thing. Are you letting the energy get you down? Because if you let the energy get you down, it's almost like when you're down, you kind of stay down, and when you're up, you stay up. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. This is saying that pay closer attention to, again, how you're feeling around money. That's the key component here, because it doesn't have to be that way. And it feels like, even if it's related to time, volunteering and giving your time. As I was just saying, I am going to be creating that free workshop, and then asking people if they want to win the giveaway, that they contribute, we'll say, $8 towards it, right? So it's about that energy of freedom. And forgiveness is also coming up as well, because if we don't forgive ourselves from things in the past that have happened, again, we'll stay in the energy, right? So if you're a person who believes in forgiveness, you let go quite easily, you're going to find, well, like, yesterday's yesterday, tomorrow's tomorrow. I'm going to start living in this freeing, open mindset. And breathing is going to help you with that, okay? So our card from the past, even though we're doing a monthly reading, the past wants to come up because, again, that is an indicator of some future things. It says that there's some juggling energy where you felt like you might have had to rob Peter to pay Paul, right? For instance, I didn't have parents that paid for my university, so I'm still paying off my student loans. But that's my path, and that's okay. I'm grateful that I'm educated. So this is talking about feeling like, well, in the past I couldn't do this, so it might have been childhood experiences, as I was just saying. We get in habits and ruts because of like past energy. And so this card is telling us that yes, that might have been the case. You might not have been able to take the vacation. You might not have been able to ever take a day off. For myself, you might have had to have worked like 3 jobs all at the same time in periods of your life. But again, it's all coming back to feelings. And this is saying like that's not necessarily the case now. So do your best to get rid of and cleanse yourself of those even past life energies around finances and work and time. And so it's quite heavy stuff, right? And we just walked into spring, so when I look at the energy of green, we have wealth, focusing on the earth, and again that the universe is going to provide for us because we are in this refreshing regeneration energy, and it's about growth. And so we start planting seeds and start manifesting around this time, right? So that we can get summer's heat. And as you guys might know, I am starting to like grow my own stuff. I have a distiller now, so I can make my own oils and hydrosols. It's amazing. And the earth will provide for us. So the fall, again, we start to harvest. So this is talking about the energy of cycles and stages and how we have to honor the cycles in life and the stages in life. And that worry energy just keeps creeping up for someone in particular. Okay. So 4 of Wands, freedom. This is saying that this is the energy that's coming over us. So freedom is happening. So I feel like there's just someone that watches these that has terrible sadness. And it might even be related to sickness, okay? But we all have different issues, right? And so it's okay to, like, again, reward yourself, relieve your stress, like, forgive yourself, like, spend money on things that just freaking make you happy. So my partner and I were just discussing about some financial decisions. And I said, you know what? I really want a hot tub because I'm going to use it probably daily and really enjoy it. And then I think about, oh, I could do a couple day retreats um, and enjoy the hot tubs and think about how I can share it. We could have people over, things like that. So that's more what this is talking about is choose the pleasure, okay? But if you're sick or you're sad, you might be holding yourself back from the good stuff. So ask yourself, do I struggle with receiving? Do I push away the good? That's a really common trait, okay? But if you're really really tired, then you have to catch up on that. It might actually be taking a week off just for you, okay? I know that I am going to be planning a vacation as well. So for instance, where it's my birthday, I might take even though I work on my birthday, I might around my birthday take at least 4 days off because 4 days is a really good amount of time for vacationing. So and just catching up on whatever it is for you that you need. So this is talking about self-care. Self-care is coming in April, which is fabulous, okay? So if you haven't been doing self-care, it's time to start doing self-care. That's the message. So the Chariot, angel of guidance, this is telling us this is kind of where we are, okay? And this is saying that we've been forgetting about ourselves. And so if we've been putting everybody else in front of our own priorities, our self-care, our needs, whatever it is, you could be giving too much of your energy away. This is saying that sometimes you need to speak up. You need to tell people how you're actually feeling and not hold that emotional energy back, because the only person you're hurting really is you by not doing the things that you want to be doing. So if you're living a life that you really don't like, it's kind of like, okay, at what point are you going to start standing up for yourself? And health is very important this month, but it's also feeling more like our mental health. So think about ways that you can add more practices into your day. So if it's going for a walk, if it's we have a motorcycle and the weather's getting nicer and I really like doing that, so I'm like, let's get on the motorcycle, like it's something that lights me up. So these are the things that you're kind of probably starting to think about or feel, okay? So then we have like where you're going to find yourself, okay? Are you pulling cards? If so, I would like one, please. So the title says, and hopefully you can see that. It says April monthly energy forecast. So I'm doing the energy of the month for in general, and then you're gonna, if you want to, you're going to watch the astrological sign readings. So Ace of Cups, love. Okay, this is where you're gonna find yourself. Is we're growing, as I was talking about spring and being all about growth. And it's saying that you're learning to express yourself, you're learning to tackle obstacles. So, although all this energy was coming up, this is saying that you're going to realize that you feel a lot better when you do the work, when you do speak up, when you do let go. Kind of like the full moon ritual I was doing last night, okay? When you spend that time with those people that you really love and care about. So, and when you do things for yourself, like take that hot bath. So, I took a nice detox bath soak this morning, listened to some really nice videos, getting some inspiration, talking about cards, things like that. Okay, so the Fool, Angel of Innocence. This is kind of talking about, again, kind of what's going to happen. All right, this is the first card in tarot. It's where we begin. And so this guy isn't afraid. He's not worried. And that's why they call him the Fool, is because he really doesn't care. He's trusting. And some people think, well, not to trust anybody, or don't be too trusting, you'll get hurt, or people will take advantage of you, and put that wall up. But this is saying that this energy that's coming in is actually quite trusting. People are coming into a time, again, the weather's getting nicer, they're wanting to get outside and get that fresh air. So they're like, you know what, I think I'm ready to do this next step, which is great. So we are all walking into feels like more positive frequencies. And although we are going through currently some turbulence, it does feel like this hope is going to start coming in for people because they're learning what it feels like to be stress free. Because when you take that little bit of time for yourself, you're like, wow, why have I not been doing this? So think about some of that, okay? And how that affects you. And you're going to see when I go to do the other readings how a lot of the same energy comes up, but in a different way, which I think is super cool. But if you don't subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. Or if you haven't, I'd really appreciate it if you do, because it takes me like an entire day and I'm not even editing to do these videos. So it just shows that you care to watch them and appreciate them. So 10 of Wands, burdens. And so this is saying that when it comes to relationships, you might feel like other people are weighing you down. And a lot of that, I don't like to say this, but it might actually be your fault. Because if you're letting other people's energies weigh you down, it's not their fault that they're doing things to you. It's your fault for letting them do things to you, right? So there's more accountability and responsibility that's coming up. And it's don't like blame yourself, just move through the energy and change it. Start that new beginning. Okay, moving forward, I'm going to start being more creative. Moving forward, I'm going to start speaking my truth, being my authentic self. So as we start looking into what we want to attract, it becomes easier to let go. That's what I find anyway. We know what the new door is, so it's easier to close the door. Okay. And then we have 6 of Swords. Again, I'm feeling quite emotional here in this group. And this is talking about desires for people, resolution. 6 of Swords. Okay, 6 is all about going back into balance again. It's balancing our thoughts and our feelings. So it's like people are desiring to be more clean, more clear in their thinking process. They don't want to have all this brain fog and clutter. They really don't. It feels like people really, really do care, which is fabulous. But what's coming up is that if you want to emotionally feel better, then you have to believe and trust that that's going to happen. If you're scared of change and if you're scared to move forward, again, that's something you might want to start working on now. And that's why I like doing energy readings for the next following month, because then you can kind of get ahead of this. And if you go back and watch on my channel the March reading, it might make sense to you as we're trickling towards the end, okay? And an outcome here, 3 of Pentacles, action. So this is saying that we're learning that on our days off, when we're not working, that the time, sometimes like when we go on vacation, we're like, oh my God, that vacation just wasn't long enough. Because for you, it might only be, you get 2 hours off in a day. I know my days are really, really long. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, when I do get to rest, when I do get to relax, I'm going to just do my best to just really maximize that time and energy. So the action is saying that what we're going to be finding is that we're just learning, yeah, like how to use time, money, resources, and energy. Okay. So I hope that connects to you, and I'm really looking forward to doing the readings for each sign. And that's something I used to do, and I'm just getting back into it. So if you like this, you feel free to share, to comment, to give me a heart, to like it, and subscribe. Bye for now, and have an awesome month, guys. Bye.